3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and we're going to do a review of BRZRKR number 2. This is a book everyone probably knows about by now. It's absolutely the number one selling book of the year. It's highly unlikely that there's going to be any book for the remainder of the year that's going to outsell it. I think the first printing alone of this book sold over 650,000 issues, which is a far cry from the record, right? X-Men, Jim Lee's X-Men back in the day sold some counts up to 8 million copies. I don't know what the exact number is. That's kind of a disputed number, but 8 is usually 7 to 8 million. Whatever. It's so high, no one's ever going to meet that again unless the industry radically changes somehow in the future and everyone becomes a comic. I don't know. But regardless, BRZRKR is a book that you just know about. Whether you love it or you hate it, you're ambivalent, you don't care, you can't stand the idea that Keanu Reeves is making a comic book and using all of his celebrity privilege to push out the little guy, which is stupid. Sorry, if you're one of those people, I'm not saying you're stupid, but you've somehow been led along a line of a stupid idea that you've attached to. And I would just urge you to have a seat, have a drink, think about it, maybe possibly come to a new conclusion. Here we go. So here's the credits. Keanu Reeves, Matt Kindt. Matt Kindt happens to be one of my favorite writers in the business. I really like what he did on the X-O Manowar, the second series that was done under the Good Valiant before they sold to the CCP. And then Heather Antos came in and did her milkshake magic. And so, Ron Garney is the artist. A lot of people love Ron Garney. Not a huge fan. He's okay. He's solid. He's okay for this book. One thing I was noticing when I was reading this particular issue, however, is that I don't like Ron Garney's inks. I don't think he's a good inker. And I'm willing to bet if he had a good inker, his pencils are probably really great. But bad inking destroys good pencils. And here we go. And now this book did not impress me as much as the first issue. I really like the first issue, and I know a lot of people are meh about it. Some people are loving it. It's going to be a hit or miss. Now, I do not know how long this series is. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. I don't think this was a mini-series, but something in my brain is telling me it's a mini-series. It's one of those, like, we didn't tell you it was going to be 12-issue mini-series because we wanted to sell more books. And typically, I think ongoing series sell more. Now, I think part of that might have to do, and I might be projecting here, but part of that might have to do like, oh, it's only going to be 12 issues. I'm just going to wait till the trade comes out. The entire thing will be bookended into one book, maybe two. And I can just have the whole thing and just boom. Whereas an ongoing series, yeah, you can get them in the trades, but it could be many, many trades. And then people are just, I think, at least me, I'm speaking for myself, I'm more willing to invest in the floppies and enjoy the ride. Where if it's a miniseries, especially the smaller miniseries, if it's 6 issues, I'm just like, not even bothering. Just wait for the trade. Trades are usually out within a month or two after nowadays. Anyways, I am really in the weeds. So if you've been following along, B, the main character, I might refer to him as Keanu Reeves. Is he the BRZRKR? They never refer to him as the BRZRKR. Interesting, the title BRZRKR. I don't know. B. We're going to call him B, the letter B. Gosh, actually, the more I think about it, it's kind of a stupid name. Maybe he does actually have a real other name, and we're just, I don't know. B is sitting with his sort of like therapist. It's not a therapist. She's like a scientist working for the government. He's made a deal with the government. He doesn't want to die. He wants to be able to die. He's been alive for like 80,000 years. He's from the caveman days. Why he doesn't look like a Cro-Magnon, I don't know, but it's comic books, doesn't matter. So he's alive. He's working with this scientist. He's helping the American government. He's giving them access to his body for scientific research and all these different things. In return, he's hoping that they will just find a way to make him mortal. That's all he wants, according to what we've been told so far. This particular issue is a flashback of when he was born. He was conceived. We can see here, this is his parents. Why caveman times were diverse. Why you had a dark-skinned woman and a red-headed Norskin. I mean, that's where the redheads come from, right? Like, whatever, it's comics. But it threw me that I'm like, if there was ever a time where humanity wasn't diverse, it was in prehistoric times where people just literally did not travel more than a couple miles from their location. Sorry, I'm really in the weeds here, but is it really so fucking hard to be in a society? Like, never mind. just tune it out. Maybe he went over to a neighboring tribe in another continent, used his caveman stick, clubbed her over the head, and said, "You woman, come with me." I also like how they're having a very modern, almost, it's not really modern, but it's a conversation that's like, do you think people in 80,000 years ago talked this way? Like, they're just very civilized speaking. Like, again, it's comics. We got to relate to these people. I shouldn't be too hypercritical about this. This is a story, and this is a story being told by B. So I should treat this not as actual history, but B's perception and memory of the history, I guess. Or, actually, it's not even his memory. This is a story that his parents told him. So he would probably relate the story more modern. Anyway, so the idea is that these cave people, they settled on a plain that was very fertile, but it was in a really indefensible area. And all the other tribes, because they're big bad meanies, come and rape and pillage the village every year. Why the tribe just didn't move, just stay there, I don't know. But they're tired of it. They're like, we have to do something. So the woman, of course, is very pious, as in many of these types of stories are. The man's kind of just like, I don't know what to do. And the woman's like, I'll pray to the gods, and the gods come to her. And here we get the origin of Anakin Skywalker, the Immaculate Conception. Here's how Palpatine impregnated his mother, I guess. I'm sorry. I make light of this. I like Star Wars. The prequels are weird, but I still like them too. But come on. Some lightning god thing comes. This is really weird. Just look at that. And conceives with the mom. And we get Keanu here, but B. Is this, how does one put it into words to that which cannot be described? Technology that you wield today would be incomprehensible to the people of that time. So we get a hint that this isn't necessarily some sort of god, that maybe this is some sort of person from the future, some high-tech space being. I don't know. But it's a hint at that this was technological, not necessarily some mystical thing. And so here we get Baby B sucking on the teat and causing some blood. He's got his little blue eyes because he is from Arrakis. Oh, that's it. This is a Dune story I never even knew. I don't know. So Husband wakes up to find wife pregnant, has no problems. He's just like, cool, you're somehow pregnant. So I guess, should I call him Joseph? So baby B grows up. He grows very fast. Even though he lives forever, I guess he has a very quick childhood. And he's the answer to the prayers. So he's trained. He's got a bloodlust. And this whole story is a backstory. So that's why I was a little bit let down after I finished the book, because I was kind of expecting the story to go forward after the last issue and not backwards. But in hindsight, the more I think about the book, the more satisfied I am with it, because I know this is going to be a bigger story. I'm guessing it's going to be 12 issues. I would like it to be ongoing. That'd be cool. But I'm guessing it's going to be 12 issues. And if it is 12 issues and it follows the 3-act structure, that means we should expect at least the first 4 issues to be Act 1. So a bigger story takes a much longer time to develop and get through those acts. So we're still only halfway through the Act 1. I'm very cool, actually, with the... This is going to sound weird. I'm actually cool with decompressed storytelling in the modern age. I do miss the old school comic books being able to cram a ton of story in like a single issue. But Decompression can be a fantastic read when it's done well. Caveat here, when it's done well. It's a lot more cinematic. And by that I mean, take a look at this page here, right? B is getting a little frustrated. He's talking to the doctor. But look at, this would have all been, in the old days, 1 frame. Maybe 2. But it's done to prolong the dialogue, the scene, lets it play out more, a lot more cinematic, the way a movie would play it out. Comic book would be like, every scene was a frame. And the story moved a lot faster. They were able to do a lot more. And that was good. But the bad side to that was you couldn't be as, I'm going to say this word I hate. You couldn't be as nuanced in the storyline. You couldn't be as deep. You could just explore more of like an overview storytelling. And you didn't get that nice cinematic feel that modern comics can do when it's done right. Caveat, when it's done right. So we get little teenage B, almost grown up. He's sporting, is that a mustache? Like, it's a little weird the way this is the bad inking coming in. Like that's just, sorry, Ron. I don't know what that is, but we get something right out of 300 right here, which is, a book that I love. I don't know if this is an homage to it or not. It's cool. Go for it. A lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed. This is not a book for the faint of heart. This is punching through people, tearing through people. I'm wondering if they make a movie out of this, which they're supposed to be doing. I believe is it Netflix? Forget who. Yeah, I think it's Netflix. They're going to have the balls to do this with live action. It's one thing to have illustrations that gory. It's another thing to be Braveheart on steroids, if you know what I mean. So we get a really telling thing at the end of the book, which kind of does end abruptly. And he's talking, the overview, the narration is him talking to the scientist, doctor, woman, while the flashbacks are happening. And he says, I remember that day now. I remember having parents, having a tribe, having purpose. And I remember that being the last time I ever felt happy. And you can see, and I thought this was a very telling page that I wasn't sure how to interpret. Is this page here telling us the values of tribalism? Which there are some good things. I think humanity, we have these instincts of tribalism on purpose. They've just been used to negative effect because we've turned into like a global society and conglomerate into mega cities. And it's like tribalism was meant to be like, 40 to 60 people in a village, and that all works. And he felt like he had a family, and I think family is a huge thing. And he's unhappy now because he's alone. He's living in a modern society where no one gives a shit about anyone. He doesn't belong. I'm not sure where to interpret this as. I do feel like this is going to be an important page, an important scene as the rest of the book plays out. I don't know. It did feel very short. There's not a lot of text to read in both these books, but I'm very happy with this book. I'm a fan of this book. I like where it's going. I like this mystery of who the hell is B. That's right now. I want to know who B is. Where does he come from? Why does he exist? What does that mean to this world? And I'm along for the ride. So this has been a longer review, but what are you going to do? Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down below. Are you buying this book? Are you enjoying it? Are you not buying this book? If so, tell me why. I like to read what you guys have to say. Hope you got something valuable out of this. Hope I got to give you a little bit of entertainment while you were doing something less entertaining. And I will catch you next time.